Hi, didn't see you there. Sonia here from Rainbow Balloons, and you just caught me as I finished decorating my Christmas tree. Well, almost finished decorating, because you know what, the top of the tree is looking pretty blank, and I kind of thought that a balloon angel like this one might be a perfect addition. Now, this particular design is one that I came up with recently because I wanted to be able to tackle the a line work situation and have some quicker designs that I could offer that might still be beautiful. Now this one, depending on your definition of line, may or may not be suitable for that kind of environment. Perhaps a more smaller intimate gathering or Christmas party might be more ideal for you, as it may take around 4 or so minutes if you're going straight at it. Now this particular design uses 5-inch round for the dress, a nice simplified yet elegant approach to the angel's gown, a 6-inch for the head, 6-inch quick link, because we attach the 260 head into that quick link, and then we've got a 160 which is both her arms and her wings, and finally this beautiful chrome gold from Qualitex to make the halo. So I'm going to go ahead to show you how to do this design, but then I'm going to also show you how to add a few little extra touches so that perhaps you could create an angel just like this one, or even just like her. So there is a few different options available for you to create when you use this particular design, and like I said, depending on the situation or scenario in which you are creating your balloon art, one may be more suitable over the other for that particular line or client that you're serving. Anyway, let's get into how to make a balloon angel. So I have my quick link blush for the head, and I actually have a quick link 6-inch for the dress as well in this scenario. Now you might be thinking, hey, she just said something completely different, and you're right, I did. I don't know why I grabbed the 6-inch, but what I can tell you is it's a perfect way to add the angel onto a balloon wand or onto a balloon headband. So your anchor point is already there. So we're just going to go with it here, but for the purposes of the angel that I just showed you, we're not going to have that one out in the real world. Anyway, I digress. Let's get into it. So I'm going to go ahead to inflate the head and the dress. When I would do this, I would focus the head quick link to be more round, and the bottom part to be more like its natural shape in the oval. I'm going to go ahead to tie these two together. There we go. So the dress and the head. We're going to go ahead to take the 160, which is going to be the arms and the wings. So there's not a lot of twisting involved here. So I've actually left about 1/2 centimetre uninflated there, which is I suppose about just under 1/4 inch, but I'm going to let a little bit of air out to help soften it before I tie it off, because we're going to pop a couple of pinch twists into this one, and that can help make that process just that little bit more pleasant for all involved. Alright, so starting off with the first arm. So a bubble approximately the width of my hand there, and go ahead to double that over, fold a second arm, lock it in place with that nozzle there. Now the next part is 3 pinch twists. So to do the first one, and then to create 2 more. A little bit of a squeeze there, do the third. So these are all fairly small bubbles, about the same width as that 1 inch. Okay, so now when it comes to positioning those pinch twists, I'm going to put one in between the arms, and the other 2 are going to rest behind. just like so. Now we are going to introduce the 160 into our 2 quick links here at the neck area. Show you there, putting it in between the pinch twist, and I'm just going to wrap that head over and under. Back around to rest on top, so we've still got that pinch twist in the middle. Then we have 2 pinch twists either side here at the back, pretty much sitting in behind those arms, and the remainder 160 just comes out the back there. Now I'm going to go ahead to twist off a small bubble. So this one's approximately 2 inches or 5 centimeters long. Go to the end of the 160, and I'm going to give it a bit of a squeeze to force all that air into the end. And then twist off a small bubble there, about again the same size as the width of the balloon. I'm going to wrap that in to here, so that kind of locks it in place. Now we're going to go ahead to change that 1 super angel wing into 2. So finding the midpoint, twist that in. And then there were 2. We're going to go ahead to do a little bit of shaping to those wings. To do this, I'm going to fold the balloon over against itself and squish the air there a bit until we get that more traditional simplified angel wing shape. Repeating it on the other side. There we have it. So this is what we are looking at so far. We're going to go ahead now to inflate the 260, which is going to be for the hair. So I've inflated it almost all the way, but I'm going to let a bit of air out to help soften the balloon, and it gives me about 5 centimeters here or 2 inches at the end to play with. I'm going to go ahead to tie that nozzle to the quick link. And there's your angel. Actually, no, not really. It does look a bit strange, doesn't it? I'm going to go ahead to start off with 1 pinch twist. So a fairly small bubble, about the same size as the width of the 260. And we are going to fold the hair down the back of the head. Find a point approximately 1 inch up from the pinch twist at the base of the neck. Twist off my bubble. Now I'm actually going to do another small bubble, again about the same size as the width of the balloon. Pinch twist it, and then finally do 1 more, but don't pinch twist this one. We are going to twist it into the base of the neck. So just sitting in between the angel wings there at the moment. Alright, so with the remainder of the 260, we're going to go ahead to create a bubble on either side of what we've just created to give our angel her hair. So holding the balloon up against the head, see how long you might need to twist it in. And then finally do the third strand of hair down the back. See where you need to twist it. And then it goes. Alright, so now with this next bit, depending on how much air you might have left or uninflated at the end of the balloon, you might go about this in a couple of different ways. If you've got a bit of room to still play with, I would squeeze the air towards the end of the balloon, and then with that uninflated bit, introduce it into the pinch twist here. However, I don't quite have that luxury, so what I'm going to do is twist off a small 1-inch bubble to match the one that I've done there, and then twist it into the pinch twist. Like so. Now I'm going to bring the remainder of the balloon down and around the hair here, twist it into the pinch twist at the top, and then down and around and to the pinch twist in the back. So with the remainder balloon that I have here, I'm actually going to twist off a 1-inch bubble and then put it into that pinch twist. If you've got a bit of uninflated balloon, use that to wrap into the pinch twist there. Nicely. If you've got a longer bit of balloon left here, it can be a bit like a ponytail to her as well. A bit too much hair in the back can sometimes interfere with how nicely the wings sit, so you might be able to gauge that when you get to this particular point. That's how our angel is looking so far. Now the next bit to do, or next part to add, would be to do the halo. But before I do that, what we have here, minus the face and the halo, is a fairly quick line work version of the angel. And if you remember, that little bit at the bottom can be used to place it into a wand or onto a headband. But to help take it up a notch, to make it a bit more luxurious, we're going to add a little bit of hair to what we've created so far. What I've got here is my 160, and I'm going to go ahead, or I did go ahead before to inflate it and let all the air out to help soften it. And I'm going to wrap it around a single finger, taking care to not twist the balloon on itself, to try and keep it as flat as possible. Because when I inflate it, I want it to do a nice big curl. Thanks to the legenda, this is quite an easy task, so give me one moment and hopefully I'll come back with a curl. A curl for the girl. A little haywire, but still pretty cute. So I like to wrap it around a single digit to do a nice playful and tight curl for the hair. However, if you're finding some difficulty with that, you could wrap it around 2 digits, and that is a little bit easier. Okay, I'm going to tie off that 160, and it's pretty much inflated all the way. I am going to attach it into the hair at the back by the pinch twist. Okay, I did not see that coming. Give me a moment, I'll be right back. Back again, and the curl is better than ever before. So, taking that angel, what I'm going to do is, as I said before, introduce it into the hair at the back by our pinch twist. So just in the back there, and we are going to sweep it under that first hair bubble, that front hair bubble, and put it into the pinch twist. Easing it around, bringing that curl over the front, And I like to just have a bit of overlap here. So here the 160 is just sort of gone into the pinch twist ever so, and then it's coming around and resting on top, and you can still see that underneath there, as opposed to forcing or pulling that twist through more fully. Bringing the hair around to the back and twisting it in. I was half expecting it to pop, but here we go. So we do lose a lot of that really tight curl as we do the hair, but we suffer for our craft, do we not? Okay, so repositioning those wings. We've got our angel there. Now I actually could have brought that in a little bit more tighter. Play with it ever so slightly there, covering up her face a bit. But she's got a heavenly head of hair now. So we're going to go ahead to do the halo. I like to use the 260 chrome, and I like to do the stretch inflation technique to help make it be a bit more narrower, like a 160. So stretch, inflate. So there's a couple of ways that you can do the halo. When I was envisioning the line work angel, I thought that I really like the idea of just having the halo peeking over the top of the head. And so you can see that with this design here, and that's the one I'm going to show you today. Or you can go another route, and that is to create the halo that just rests gracefully atop of the hair in this manner. I'm going to show you my original vision. So what I've done is created a hoop. So that hoop is a couple of hands and a bit across. I'm going to do 2 pinch twists. 1, 2. Now I'm going to go ahead to remove the excess. If you're lucky and you've played your cards fairly well, you can get 2 halos. So, in preparation for another angel, you can kind of get a second one going on. If you are doing the other style of halo, it'd be 1/260 per angel. So we're going to use a bit of tail here to tie the halo into the pinch twist at the back of the hair. I say pinch twist, but there's really only one there and a bubble. That halo's going nowhere. Okay. So we're going to use the friction created by the pinch twist and the bubble of the hair against the pinch twist here of the halo to help position it into place. Now, to get a more rounded shape for the halo, where it's a bit more almost like the shape of a fish here, we're going to take one of those pinch twists and just put it on the inside of the halo, and that'll help to round out the shape a little bit more. And and that's completed the construction of our angel. So I'm going to go ahead now to show you how I would draw on a fairly simple face and the tools that I use. So first of all, I'd start with my white paint marker, and this one is quite useful to me to create the smile. Just lean in real close there so I can show you. So I've popped a little smile with a bit of a curve at the top of the teeth, and then we've got a more pronounced curve at the bottom there. Now we're going to go ahead to add her lipstick. So I've got a Sharpie that I'll do this line work with. Now I'd really try to use the dynamic bullet tip of the Sharpie to help me get the shaping of the lips. And I like to have a thinner line there at the bottom. I use the light pink Sharpie to add a bit of colour to her cheeks. Just a couple of small ovals or circles. Hopefully fairly equal there. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my black permanent marker, so it's a Maxi Flow brand there, Pentel, and the bullet tip is just quite lovely for doing things like eyelashes with a bit of a dynamic shape to them. Move those hair bits out of the way a little bit. A bit of a peek and replicate that for the other side. Easier said than done, am I right? Okay, and adding a small little nose in there. So there you have it. Fairly sweet and upgraded as well angel, which is just right to pop onto a flower base wand or onto a headband. And that can look quite sweet. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed doing the balloon angel as much as I do, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.